All righty. So something I've been forgetting has been getting the social drip out there. So Myrtle, could you help me out with that one? I don't typically link it up, so my apologies on that. But what we're doing today is we're gonna just go, since it's a smaller crew, we're gonna jump right into it. But before we do that, I believe Chris was the one that was running, and I DM'd her. I don't have a report for that. And then Tanya was going to take over. So, at the risk of, I mean, I'll ask, would anybody like to volunteer to become the accountability agent for next week?
Yeah, it's only us to keep it going. I'll do it, honey.
No, you already did it last time. Um, I'll do it. I'll do it.
You sure?
Yeah, I gotta save you for next week. No, I'll run this week. I gotta show people how it's done. I just it's all good. So Myrtle, I'll go next. And all right, so let's talk about it. Danny, you've been sending out some DMs. What what's the
I
vibe? What's
have.
the feel? I know that you just came off of the accountability thing, but do you feel like something kind of flipped for you?
Yeah, I feel like going uh trying to match my pace, trying to match what I'm like last week it was more about what I am able to put, I can't match Jared's, I can't match yours, I can't match Kim's. I have to match what I feel comfortable. And I feel that like sending at least five, like getting it out of the way, and like boom, whether you like it or not, here it goes, boom. And then throughout the day, I will get the response like, "Hey, Danny, thank you." And some of them were really nice. Some of them were just no thanks. Nobody gave me like rudeness, nothing like that. Um, and some of them were like, "I'm curious. Sure, why not?" I think one of my guys actually went yesterday. He actually attended. Um, yeah, and so yeah, that's basically the feedback that I've been getting. Some of them were like, "I'm not interested right now." Some of them were uh, sure. Some of them was like, "I'm busy. I have a lot going on. I'll let you know when I'm open." So yeah, that's the feedback that I've been getting.
That's awesome.
Definitely more responses. Definitely more responses than sending out emails.
I wonder if, because I know you did the interview with what's his name? Eli?
Wait, Eli, yes,
Eli.
yes.
Um, I wonder if there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity everywhere, but I wonder if there's an opportunity for the Spanish side for you on getting Spanish speaking agents, similar to Franco, because I know that obviously a lot of his clients, most of his clients are Spanish speaking, and the referral network that he has is massive, as you can imagine. But I wonder if there's an opportunity to focus on the Spanish speaking side for the attraction angle.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, well, yeah, I, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Hispanics out here.
I
Yeah.
definitely feel like Danny has a window of opportunity there. He just lacks the confidence in himself. Even with the highlight that I did for him, the what people are saying about him is absolutely amazing. Whether they're here or in New York, New Jersey, it's just whoever he comes in contact with, they have nothing but great things to say about him. And it's a so for me, his authority and his credibility is already there. It's already established. And so he doesn't see it for himself. So whenever people, even when people call him immediately, he's like, yo, why are they calling me? Like what do you mean? Why are they calling you? You're amazing. You're really, you're great. I mean, um, his Google, his presence is there. His social media presence is there. His clientele, like I said, the constant affirmations that they're putting out. I posted him this week, but he's one that's still going. Like people are still tapping on on his, they're still commenting on him. So Danny, I think that you need to just take I don't know, maybe grow some time in your day where you can really kind of reassure yourself that when they do call you, I don't know, don't give the persona that you don't have it. Because you
Just have a little bit of yeah, get a little bit
just
more
run
comfortable.
with it. Yeah, just run with the reassurance that they reached out to you. I would love for agents to call me, because when they call me, I know that I'm here to, to just give them and be confident in what I have. But for me to go after them, that's where my struggle is. But you've got agents actually reaching out to you. And then when they do, you kind of like shut down, like, well, no, don't call me.
I think and then Laura, are you open? Are you available? Can you hear us?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna tap you in after I make this Danny comment, because I want us to talk about the events and kind of how those came about. But
All right, sounds good.
with
I'll just step
Danny,
by.
since we're psychoanalyzing Danny today. No, with
Sorry.
Danny, obviously, just when we got, know him a lot more than I do, but as far as when we were hanging out, just once you can get through the initial just meeting of Danny, like when you're in, like it's just a different vibe. If you could allow people to get to that side of the equation with you, lights out, lights out. It's not, that's not the bad thing. Like I heard that this 2 weeks ago from Kim for myself. And then I heard it from Lord last week for myself. So this is me basically regurgitating what I heard that I'm learning about myself that might be able to help you a little bit more in getting people, sharing with people. This is gonna sound bad, but like who you really are from that respect, because it's gonna help you out a ton just in anything. But anyway, that's the only thing I had to offer on that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to turn into a let's get Danny into therapy today. Lord, tell us about the event, how it came about, or how the events came about. Because after you put it on, Betty called me. I was at the airport, and she wants guidance on that. And then also just there's some other folks that have expressed interest on the event side that want to learn more about what it takes to put them on.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yes, I'm driving. But yeah, the event that we did, just kind of based off of a previous event that I've done before, on my own. So like, just an idea that I got from other organizations, other leaders in our upline that are doing similar types of events. And essentially what they're doing is they're putting together these mini events before a large EXP event. So it's basically trying to gather any agents that you know in the area where these events are happening. And then you just want to generate interest on EXP, on what you're offering, what your value add is for your organization. And if people are really ready to make a move and change or curious, you can also go as far as inviting them to the event, right? So like EXP Con, Betty, right? She's Miami. So EXP Con is also Miami. So that would be a huge opportunity for Betty and for us to do something down there, like maybe fly in, either during the event or it could be before the event. But essentially, we all have free guest passes. So whoever's going to EXP Con, you have an Explorer Pass. Basically allows you to invite one non-EXP agent to EXP Con for free. So that's like a $900 value right there. And so by hosting these types of events, you can potentially invite somebody who you're really like trying to get to join you at EXP. And so I did this previously on my own. When what was it? There was a rally in Minnesota, and I happened to kind of at least know the EXP Canada president at the time. I made an invite for him to say, hey, are you doing anything after the rally event? Would you like to join me at a meetup thing that I'm hosting for agents? And there'll be like 50 non-EXP agents. He's like, oh yeah, shoot, I'm down. I'm just gonna be at my hotel. So, all right. And then of course, we had the rally again. And I was telling Jaime, hey Jaime, would you be interested in flying up here? We have the rally in Milwaukee coming up. And that was just this week, Tuesday. And I was like, yeah, man, I would appreciate it if you could come up and maybe we do like an event a week before. So, drum up some interest for EXP, and whoever would like to attend the rally, I'd invite them and I would buy them a ticket to attend the rally. And so, yeah, so I had Jaime run up here. We did a little tour. Also drove him up to Minnesota as well. We basically did the lead gen through social media call that Jaime does on Tuesdays. That's pretty much what we did. And it got quite a bit of engagement from people who attended. They walked away with a couple leads. I mean, one person had 3 leads by the time it was done. 2 people, I think, actually did. And then there was one gal who had like over like 30 plus comments, by the end of that meeting. So, pretty cool stuff just to generate interest, generate curiosity. We do have a couple calls. Jaime and I have had a couple calls with people already from that event. So nobody signed up yet, but we're planting the seeds, and that's what we're doing. Yeah. So anything else I missed, Jaime? Anything else I need to add?
No, I think that's good. I think, well, one thing that from a technical component, who would you suggest if someone's going to look to do some events in the future, who would you suggest as sponsors? What type of conversation did you have with those sponsors? Because you filled every single event with like 4 or 5 sponsors. So who did you get as
Correct.
sponsors? What type of conversation? And if you feel
Mhm.
comfortable sharing, what type of monetary thing were they to support you with?
Correct. Yeah. That's also a huge piece, right? So like you want to go to your go-to people, like one loan officer, one title person, home inspector person, and even a home warranty person. And I miss anybody else? Insurance agent, yeah, insurance agent, of course.
Title, lender, insurance,
Home inspection, home
home
warranty.
inspection, and home warranty. So potential of 5.
Potential of 5. Yep. And we had 5 in Milwaukee, and they completely footed the bill. The venue was $400. The food was $200. Divided by 5 of them, it was like $130, and they got to meet 20 some agents in a room. Quality event that they got to learn from as well. They got leads. One of the insurance guy closed the policy from making a Facebook post that Jaime taught him. So he was happy about that. And you never know. Some of these people are dual license. So, insurance agents, loan officers could be dual licensed. They might be open to, partnering up. And basically you feed their business and they feed you, or you help train their agents, right? So they go recruit for you and you do the training part for them. So it's a fantastic partnership opportunity that a lot of other people I've seen are utilizing. Even title agents are dual licensed. So they, of course, know all the agents who are doing deals. And so if you get them to partner with you, that's like pretty much game over. Of course, you got to find the right people who are willing to do that, right? And some aren't. So, yeah, just and then of course, we wanted to frame the event around, hey, here's my loan officer. It's his event. He's bringing in Jaime. He's gonna educate us realtors on how to do stuff, right? And on social media. So it wasn't like, oh, hey, this is the EXP training event, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then people are like, oh, yep, that's a recruiting event. I'm not going. So you got to be a little bit tactical about it. So we had our loan officers in each city as the primary host, right? And then brought in Jaime as a special guest. And then basically we spun it like, hey, how I got involved is like, I started working with these loan officers. and doing lots of deals with them, and they're just curious how I'm doing able to do it. And I said, yeah, I'm doing all through social media. And then they're like, so I asked Laura, to come in and teach us how to do it, right? And just, share with what he's doing. And then I get on the stage and I say, hey, yeah, everything I learned from Jaime, and here's what we do. And then I flew Jaime in from Dallas, whatever, and he's here to help us. So Jaime got to work and taught everybody. So that's how I framed it. So
Laura, I'm an idiot. I didn't pick up on that the original time. I should have done a much better job at that. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, clearly you framed it that way, like with the presenting to people, but that's the title sponsor being the lender. While I recognize that was happening, like from a presentation standpoint, I could have done a better job in highlighting that point. So that's a learning lesson for me.
no worries, no worries. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I told a little story about how I met Jaime on YouTube, and like like, hey, here's my game plan. I want to learn how to lead gen through social media, through YouTube. And I found the guru on YouTube, and the rest is history. So here he is.
I think for like, if it was 50 people or so, like if the room was like, if the aim was for 50 people, would you budget, let's just say, from getting it just up and running, for getting the marketing aspect of it, what budget would you say somebody would need to pull that off? Whether it's whoever pays for it, title, lender, whatever, would it be like $700, $750 to get 50 people in?
Yeah. Oh, 50? Yeah, probably 750,000 bucks, maybe. Yeah. Depends on the food, right? So food's kind of expensive. I mean, I was surprised that the food cost us like 200 bucks just for the 20-ish, 25 people that were there, 30 maybe. Yeah. So
Yeah. I like events. I really do like events. I don't push them as much, but events can be very wildly profitable from, like, if you charge up front, for sure, but they can be very profitable from a conversion strategy. One just needs to get a conversion strategy. That I would say that from how we're structured right now, I think that's probably the weakest part of our game. And when I say ours, I mean my game, because I don't have too much of a conversion on the back end, the strategy behind it. That's where the personal relationships come into play. I know Laura's you sent me a breakdown, I think, of the folks that showed up. 3, potentially 4 people are brokerage open, right? Like receptive-ish.
yeah, correct.
And I
Yeah,
know
so far, yeah,
one
3.
reached out independently to me. Obviously, it's going to be through Laura, but so there you're looking about 5 potential agents through those efforts. Go ahead, Laura.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, you're right. And then, yeah, I mean, and then if it's not, not right now, then at least we're planting the seeds for later.
Yeah. What I appreciate that breakdown. Again, I know Betty asked me, and there was a few things that I didn't necessarily know. The one thing that I would suggest, if somebody's looking to do this from a event standpoint, like what Laura mentioned, getting the right partners in place is going to be wildly important. I know Kilm's really good at this in the partners that she has, and leveraging them to grow her business. And likewise, it's not a one-way street. She returns a lot of business to them. But the one thing that I would suggest, like if you're looking to get somebody that it could be a title sponsor from a lender standpoint, title standpoint, look and find entities that are used to doing this, that, or at least are not shy about marketing, because getting agents into any room, regardless if it's free or $100, $200, is challenging. But there are title companies out there that will do this systematically. I know that, like here locally, there's a title company called, I think it's called Alamo. On Fridays, they have a Zoom call that gets 200 agents every Friday. And I mean, those types of title companies are super, super valuable. Radican Title here locally in Arlington, whenever they ask me to come through and speak, I know that I don't have to do any marketing because Kim is going to get 30 people in that room. So without any effort on my part. So getting those partners would be very helpful. Again, this is a pro tip for everybody here, but also future Betty that watches this video once I send it to her. That would be very important when you're looking to put on these events.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jaime. Like the Minnesota event, I didn't have to do anything. Like the lender found the venue, got the food together. Yeah, I didn't really have to do a whole lot. I mean, other than promoting the event. The Milwaukee
Brett
one,
did,
I
had all these banners. So well
yeah,
done. So well done.
right, right. The Milwaukee event, I did have to be a little bit more involved with like talking to the venue people, how to set it up, things like that. Not a big deal, but for sure. And there's opportunities coming up here that we had talked about as well. There's tons of regional build events coming up this summer, late summer, early fall, September here. So August, no, July, yeah, July through all the way through September. So there's one in Dallas. I just got a text from one of my other EXP agents. Hey, yeah, I just bought a ticket to build. Daniel Ing's group. So I mean, there's opportunities for us to collaborate with other organizations and tap in and learn from them. I know during the rally in Dallas, they had like these huge events they were doing. They did a 3-day tour in Texas. So they were hitting up like Austin, Houston, and Dallas. And then they even had like a private dinner, VIP dinner night with but they got some big hitters. They got like the president of EXP Commercial, Tom Trong, which we could also do as well. We could probably pull it Ian, right? Ian's a big deal. Ian,
Anybody's on the table. We can get
yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
We can get
Right,
Leo
right.
if we want him.
Exactly. So that'd be like, hey, we can get exclusive like Leo to show up to a dinner. People are probably gonna fork out the money to sit with them, right? And so that would be like crazy. And that's what other organizations are doing at these events. They're not only just attending the event, but they're doing like private masterminds, whether it's for EXP agents or everyone else as well. And it's crazy what they're doing. So definitely some opportunities out there. I know I was talking to Kim about it yesterday. Kim's like the Charlotte one. Kim's like, hey, Jared used to be a club promoter. Did you know that?
I knew that. I knew
Yeah.
that.
So we got some Jared, he's not on the call today, is he? But you got somebody out there that can help promote. So yeah.
We also have somebody on the line, Mr. Franco, that whenever he makes a video, he sells out phases of new construction. So he can mobilize people. No, I think again, with a good conversion strategy or a semi-decent conversion strategy, these events can be wildly profitable instantly. Right now, we're doing the long tail. I have no doubt that Laura's going to get 3 to 4 agents from this. It's just going to happen. Like a lot of that was the nurture up to, and then the nurture on the back end. But once we get this dialed in a little bit, I don't want to say better, but once we get this dialed in from the conversion strategy, I think it's just going to be how many more of these things can we put on? It's part of it is I'll take ownership. This wasn't meant to be like an events thing. We'll move on, but part of it was the promotion, the marketing on the front end that fell on me. I kind of F that one up. So I take full accountability of that. The content, whatever content we put in front of agents, I'm firmly under the belief that it's going to hit, that it hits all day long. Kim, do you want to say something? Oh, sorry. I saw you on mute. So that would be, that's something we can work towards. There's different models that I know Kim's brought some different points up. Laura's brought some different points up, and after having a conversation with Betty, she brought up some other points as well that I think are important. Well, let's keep going. Any questions, comments, concerns that we have about the group, about EXP, about what we got going on in our business right now before we go on to the next point. Alrighty, crew. Well,
I got nothing about that, but I mean, to
hit it.
continue the events thing, just real quick, last thing. I was talking to Daniel, and his latest partner that he had brought on, he's like a life insurance guy, and apparently this guy was a big deal back in the life insurance world, retired and just doing agent stuff for fun now. But anyway, he used to put on huge events, so he has the experience for like conferences, things like that. So other EXP organizations are already doing their own mini rallies, their own mini events. And that's something that I think pretty soon Daniel and them will be doing as well. So if we wanted to feature, Jaime, you want to be a guest speaker on their event, they're more than happy to have you on, and we can have, AFG kind of, bring our people there and they'll help us to recruit our people to join us, So it's just helping each other. So
I dig that. I dig that. No, I think it's wildly. I am pro events. I didn't used to be, but now I'm a little bit more open to it since I've started just putting more attention to it. So that's good. That's good.
Kim says you hate people. That's why you go.
I do hate people. Let's be real.
And that's why you're on YouTube. And then yeah, I was like, she's like, oh yeah, 8 people or whoever went up to the rally. And I'm like, so did Jaime show up? He lives in freaking Dallas. And then they're like, no.
Wait. Who'd you say? Who said that I hate people?
Oh, Kim did.
Oh, but then what about the rally thing? How'd you know
Oh,
I didn't go?
I asked if you went because, like, I guess the whole crew, Danny and the crew, went from Houston, and you weren't there. I'm like, what the hell, Jaime?
Yeah.
Well, Kim didn't go neither. And
Yeah,
she lived
Kim.
like 5 minutes across the street.
He knows I didn't go. I was at a buyer's consultation. Stay focused, Daddy.
I had school duty. They're here, so I don't want to speak too loud there. I had school duty, so I couldn't do it. So yeah. I do hate people and I hate Kim. All right, let's move on. Let's do this. We got work to do still. It doesn't matter if we have 100 people here or the committed few here. Thank y'all for being here. We got to get these DMs out. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. This is going to be the direct ask that is wildly effective, which is, hey, do you want to partner up? Now, this is one that will get you conversations. Now, the first DM is, you've seen this one before, but I'll share them in pieces, even though I know you can't copy it from the chat. But the direct ask is, I recommend you do this with all of your friends that are agents that are not part of EXP at least once. You're not going to continue doing this, but this is the most direct, the most efficient way that you can get people having conversations with you about EXP. Now, the reason I encourage you to do this with your friends, your connections, your followers, at least once, is because a lot of folks either don't realize that you're part of EXP. 2, they've never been asked by you. And then 3, next time, what typically happens, I kick myself for some agents that I can think of right now, just off the top of my head, that I have really good working relationships with, that we've been pretty good, pretty friendly with. But I've seen them join the organization. I've seen them join EXP, and I had no idea that they were shopping. The only difference between them signing up with somebody else and me was because somebody else asked. That was the only difference. So I think that you have a lot of friendships and that you have a lot of relationships that you can instantly tap into. And again, this is the most effective way. If you want to build into it, if you want to build into the ask and start, messaging and opening up the conversation so it doesn't seem as direct, that's completely okay as well. And I encourage you to do that. But this is, again, it's going to be the most direct way that you can ask individuals to partner. All right. Any questions on this? Today, our goal is to hit five DMs. Last time that we did this, of the 5 DMs, one turned into a conversation. Her name was Kim Davis. And speaking of Leo, I connected them too and see if there's going to be something that we can work on. All right, I'm going to mute myself for a quick second. So you have the verbiage in the Notion. Just copy that. Just scroll down to the bottom in the here to earn strategy. Fire off that first DM to 5 agents that are not part of EXP. And then that follow-up message, if they want to learn more, is right below that. All right, my first DM is out the door. Let's keep pushing. All right, got my 5 cents off. Becky, Sonia, Tony, Amy, and Eve. Don't let me down. All righty. Any feedback, any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up? Kimbo, what are you working on?
I'm double dipping here. I'm so sending the text, and my mailers.
Nice. What do you mean? Oh, let me see. Do you do
Handwritten.
handwritten things or like what do you do?
So, um, through a software, I pull up distressed properties, pre-foreclosures, and I only pull out, the goal is 12 a day, but I'm behind, so I had to get all of them done today.
Dang.
To
So these
make
are
them look.
pre-foreclosures, the ones that just came in on the off the docket. Where do you get them off of where?
Yes, so we use a software called Investor's Edge, but you can use PropStream, I think. But we use Investor's Edge because we do that on the back end, and this is just an extra software. But we are able to pull that information off, and then we kind of sometimes if they have a zero balance, but they're coming up on the distress side, we definitely reach out to those with a letter. My VA is in here as well. We do skip tracing where she sends a text and she also calls. And then we do an email and a mailed letter. So those are kind of the 4 touches that we attempt to do. And we've been getting some success.
Really? What type of call to action do you have in that letter?
So the letter has a barcode. Really and truly, I found that contacting them when they're in a hardship, right? They're really reluctant to share. They don't want to because they're out of embarrassment. So we really kind of just say, hey, look, we know that property is appraised, um, anywhere from 10, the increase 10 to 20%. And then it's just my QR code, my face.
Oh, wow.
And the QR code leads them to my website, of course, with my direct contact for them to get a CMA created. And then, or they call me directly.
You're dialed in.
It's working.
No wonder you get all these listings. Okay.
It's working. So we've seen, I mean, like I said, with just a month of doing it, Danny kind of, opened my eyes to the absentee owner, but, and he knows I had no clue what to do. So I called him and I'm like, Danny, hey, they called me back. So I did one of his numbers and he was like, yo, Kim, just tell them that you've got an investor. So it was kind of nerve-wracking the first time. But in my life, I have a heart to serve. I really love helping people. So I found that when they're in that kind of desolate place or that place where they really don't have any hope, I kind of thrive. So, I'm able to really let my emotional side, like me, be their help. And that's found me great success. We are closing our first wholesale deal this week. And it was really, really quick. And the guy's just super grateful. He called yesterday apologizing. Just he didn't want to be a burden to us, but he's also given us a referral to a family member that wants to purchase as well. So they're going through the pre-approval process just by helping him out.
Look at you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So pretty cool.
Why were you just not aware or just did you not believe in the non-owner occupied client?
No, just with the calls that I were for the absentee, I was just getting unrealistic ask on the money side. Like when I called Danny, he was just like, "Hey, you know, you need to see where they are." And a lot of them already kind of savvy because they are investors, right? This is an investment property for them. So their ask didn't line up with the CMA. It was just unrealistic. And so that kind of turned me off, and I just stopped messing with them. I mean, and that was just after a dozen or so, because they do call you back. They're like, "Yo, you got somebody that wants to buy my property for sure." And so after about the 10th or 11th call that I got from it, and they were just asking just astronomical numbers. I'm like, you got to be, there's no way. And I already have a headache with the for sale by owners, and this was just a cockier version of the for sale by owners. I was just like, no, screw it.
For sell by owner times two. One of the things that, and I forget who it was. I want to credit the individual. I think it was Simon Chen with ERA, who he's no longer with ERA at this time, but at the time he was the CEO of ERA Realty. When we spoke, a suggestion that he gave was when you're speaking to these non-owner occupied people, don't ask them, are they looking to sell? But ask them, are they looking to buy? Because they've heard it. They've heard, hey, do you want to sell this property? You have 30. Hey, you want to sell one of these? When they hear the opposite, are you looking to buy? You're guaranteed a call, because some of them may be looking to buy. If they have 3, they want to get to 4. If they have 4, they want to get to 6. If they have 6, they want to get to 80. Right. So it's one of those things that really stood out to me. And again, I want to say that it was Simon that said this. But anyway, I don't know if that helps in any way, but it's something that it's really stuck out in my mind. I don't do many mailers. In fact, I don't do any mailers outside of when I was using Remind. But I don't know, maybe that could help in some way.
No, I like that. I definitely, even Danny, I saw him turn his face to the screen because it's a different approach. The significance from Danny's letter, or just literally it was a card, and it just stated that, hey, we've got investors that may be, you know, interested in purchasing a property. If there's an interest to sell, please reach out. It was just that simple. And from that, we definitely receive phone calls, but like I said, just talking to them. But now I could definitely see playing that, hey, I see that, you know, you have multiple properties, or I see that are you interested in building your portfolio and purchasing? So I love that. I don't know if I'll add it just now because Joe Nathan he doesn't like starting something and then stopping it. It's thus the stack that he's not doing, right? All he has to do is just drop them off at the post office, fucker. But there you
Hey,
go.
that drive is dangerous, especially when you have somebody on the passenger seat calling them an F for every other day. Alrighty. Well, that's a good stopping point. I appreciate y'all coming through. Kimbo, close us out.
Absolutely. Listen, guys, you know why we're here. And I applaud each and every last one of you for showing up to just add to a different stream of your business, right? There are people that no longer do real estate. They just promote and add to their downline. So if that's you, continue to push, continue to press. Let's get it. Danny, you're a shining star, dude. Let's get it. Have an amazing rest of the week.
How did I catch it straight? All right, fine. Y'all be good. Appreciate y'all. Bye.